Good afternoon. This is Eden, your local real estate agent and realtor for life. Today, I have Justin, a gentleman that we had a great conversation with in regards to what he does for living, and that would be something a really additional great service to you. So I'm gonna go ahead and ask Justin what your company is all about, and just go ahead and introduce yourself to us, please.
Sure. My name is Justin Tricoci. I am the owner of Pest Kings Wildlife and Pest Control. And we've been providing local pest control and wildlife removal services for both commercial and residential for myself, better part of 15 years. And as a company under this name for the better part of 5.
Again, the name of your company was?
Is Pest Kings Wildlife and Pest Control.
Yes. So that means you could take care of a problem, you know, what is it like? Tell us examples of, I know, mice,
Sure.
roaches.
Yeah, so there's a myriad of problems people have, ranging from cockroaches and bed bugs all the way to raccoons breaking in attics or getting into commercial units, things like that. So generally what we do is show up, assess whatever the problem may be, and then we provide an in-depth prognosis of how we can handle it for people. And
Yes,
then,
you
yeah.
just reminded me an incident I have in my home a while ago, about 10 or 11 years ago. I had a home in Bolton, and I had a raccoon that had gone right in the roof. But there was a season we were told, you guys cannot help us. Is that right? Like, it was
No,
jumping
no.
throughout the whole winter on me.
No. So one, ironically, I grew up in Bolton,
Ah,
literally from the time I was 2 all the way till 10 years ago.
oh,
But no, raccoons have a baby season,
uh-huh.
and the problem with our industry is the control side of things has a governing body, but the wildlife side of things does not. So in
Ah,
essence, tomorrow you could start your own wildlife removal company, and there's a huge knowledge gap of what people
ah,
know how to do and what they will do.
wow.
My staff, I have one of the gentlemen on my staff actually used to be a renovator, so
Mhm.
we know houses in and out. So when there's a baby season, some people don't want to go into an attic, don't know how to remove the babies, don't know how to deal with them in a humane manner, so we can remove them from the home and then still reunite them with their mother
Mhm,
and
mhm,
effectively remove everybody from the house.
mhm.
So that's why some people say, "Oh, it's a season. I have to let the babies grow up in your attic." But then, with all the feces, the dead, the destruction, you got, by 3 months later, you got 6 adult raccoons in your residential home. You know, the cost of repairing
Wow,
all that it can
wow.
be insane. Yeah.
I see, like you said, in every industry, there are the experts and there are the experts, right? So that is a great information because it's just not fun for 3, 4 months for you to suffer. They jump too, right?
They jump, and people don't realize they defecate much like cats in the same spot. So if that
Right.
is in your attic, the urine will saturate drywall. I've actually been to a call where I found a raccoon on somebody's bed. You know what I mean? So they'll fall through.
Oh,
So it's like anything. The longer you leave a problem to marinate, the worse it gets, right?
wow. I'm so glad we're talking with the right expert here. So what about, like as I say, what's the process like? For example, I have this property where we find out they have roaches in their kitchen. So
Mhm.
what is the owner do? Like he calls you and set up an, how does it go? How the
So generally, it starts off with somebody has a pest problem. They call me, and I don't generally have a general A plus B equals C. Everybody's details are unique. So,
see.
for instance, if you have a cockroach problem in a townhouse,
Right.
treatment and success rate
Hmm.
differs greatly from, let's say, a single family dwelling, right?
That's right.
So, and then
Hmm.
how long has the problem been negated?
Ignored.
So many things taken into consideration. So I don't really come out the gate with, oh yeah, you called me, you got a problem. Oh, here it is. Here's your guarantee. Life goes on. It's not so simple.
Mhm.
So I approach a problem with asking questions. How long has it happened? Is most often on a cockroach start in the kitchen. I get into detail of their problem, and then I'll come up with, say, okay, we need to do an inspection. My general inspection fees are $150, but that gets negated should we provide you with a service. So you say, okay, great, give us the green light. We come in, we do our assessment. and we're usually prepared to do some sort of treatment same day. We
That's great.
usually ask for about 48 hours leeway to get you an appointment, depending on what it is and where we are locally. I plan my routes so I can have people follow a certain way just to be, a little more efficient geographically. But generally, that's how it works. You tell me the problem you think you have. Some people don't even know the problem they have.
Mhm,
Um,
mhm.
I'll often ask for pictures if they can identify anything that they've had in their home.
Yeah.
So I try to gather as much information as I can so I can help them as efficiently as possible.
So, like you said, in this particular case, let's say it was a tenanted property. So, like I
Yeah,
said, the owners did not even know. So, when
right.
they go, we're about to sell it, we just find out there's roaches problem.
Mhm.
So, that's the information they could give you. So, what do you do with that? Like, as I say, in a condo building, um, like you said, you would book an appointment, $150 fee for you to come out.
Yep.
And is there anything at least temporary you could do
So
till? Mhm.
what I can do in that regard is cockroaches are one of the hardest pests to control. Like I will be completely bland when I get out and tell people, look, if your problem is severe, be prepared to throw out your appliances. And I know that's a huge blow for some people. Some people's pockets can't handle that, but also a repeated chemical treatment over a long period of time is not something you want to keep doing. Right? So if it means getting rid of something that's harboring them, then we'll have to go to that. But most of the time, if the problem wasn't neglected, then usually we can handle it in a couple treatments. So I usually get a glimpse of what it is. And when we're dealing with tenants and landlords, I find those are my worst problems
Mhm.
because tenants will either one, not care
Mhm.
enough because it isn't their home,
Right.
or the landlord may not care enough. So
Mhm.
you got to find that happy medium. But generally, they call, we find out how big the problem is, and then we'll say it like this. Look, so cockroaches are chemically resistant. They are the hardest pest we do have on the market to deal with, but we do have several different chemical components we can treat to
Right.
sort of eradicate them.
Okay.
The chemicals have a 30-day killing power. So as bugs wander on it, they die. Right. So in a situation where you have a condo with neighboring units, the
Mhm.
unit we're treating may effectively not be ground zero.
Mhm.
And usually condos have their own pest control staff that
Right.
may come do routine maintenance, but it never is enough.
Never is
So
enough. Yeah.
in
Never
this
is enough.
instant, we would be able to treat, fumigate, and alleviate a lot of the pressure. Um,
Mhm.
but it is something where our clients maybe have to have their hand held along the way where we say, look, depending on the numbers I see, we may need 2 more treatments to really dent this. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Get it.
that's kind of how we go with it.
Mhm. Mhm.
It all depends on the situation.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you say get rid of, appliances, like could it be like dishwasher, uh, fridge, stove, like how, like because
100%. So that's what I'm talking about.
yeah.
Usually, the mechanics and the motors inside your refrigerator, inside your dishwasher, the insulation that wraps around it, they'll lay
Mhm.
eggs in there. They'll harbor in there. They love to live under the sink, anywhere that maintains some sort of humidity.
I see. I
So
see.
that's why if it's really bad, the only way the chemicals work is the cockroaches have to walk on it.
I
So
see.
if we can fumigate and fog inside these places,
Mhm.
but if there's eggs laid and their
Mhm.
hatch cycle extends past the killing power of the chemical, then
Mhm.
the problem will show back up in a couple of months.
I
So
see.
that's why we usually don't come in and say, yeah, yeah, we'll do 1 treatment and you'll be good for 6 months. We
Yeah.
usually like to do 2 treatments 30 days apart. So we know that you've got 60 days of killing power. So if
Right.
there is some sort of secondary problem creeping up, you've got some sort of assistance there.
That's great. So after you did the first uh, process of doing that, like what happens? What is it they have to be careful not to eat, not to touch stuff
No,
around you? Like,
no. So generally, all I ask is like when our products dry, they generally dry transparent. You may see a film on the windows, but once it's off gassed and dry, it is completely fine to live and be in that environment. We
mhm,
usually ask that like kitchen cabinetry is all emptied out, dishwashers and fridge are pulled forward, so we have easy access to these places.
right.
But for the most part, that's it's quite fine once you're indoors, and
That's
it's
good.
yeah.
It's good to know. What about the bed bug treatment? How about that one?
Bed bugs are an in-depth and lengthy one. Treatments are generally progressing. They've grown in sort of what we're able to do. So it used to be you have to actually live like you're moving. So pack up all your stuff, high heat laundry. Like we send a list, a very detailed list to our clients who sign on with us on how they prepare for us. And it usually takes them about a week for the amount of work involved. Because
Wow.
like I've been to jobs where I've pulled back wallpaper and found bed bugs behind wallpaper. Bed bugs
Oh,
will effectively travel. Like if you have bed bugs in an apartment complex, they did a study where they actually caught them and dyed them different colors and then released them, and they'd find the same color bed bugs 4 floors up, right? So they
wow.
will move and spread out and then travel to feed. And also about 50% of people don't react to their bites and know they even have them. So when we're dealing with bed bugs, we usually do, again, a two-part approach, where we give our clients a huge laundry list of things to do so we are successful. There are a lot of people who will offer treatments of just a single bedroom or just a living room, wherever they're affected. Whereas for us, I won't take the job unless it's all or nothing, because you're wasting money.
Yeah,
Either
you're
do it
saving
right the
money.
first time or don't do it. So yeah,
Wow. As the name says, for me, the bed bug I thought would stay right on the mattress, the bed. I
no,
didn't have to
usually
travel.
if it's really infested, they will. But a lot of times they love to be behind picture frames, in trim, above, your door frames. They'll hide in so many places. That's why
Wow.
it's so effective. So there's treatments where you can boost the temperature of the dwelling to over 120 degrees, they'll die. But that heat treatment costs thousands and thousands of dollars. There's a lot of insurances involved because it's a fire hazard. And it may not necessarily be 100% effective if there's a portion of the house that didn't reach that 120-degree threshold. So we have chemical treatments that then we pair with a fungal treatment, which is new, and that is very minimally invasive. And it's been really successful lately.
Wow. So,
Yeah.
so the way people to find out that they have a bed bug is if they get a bite on their skin. Like how?
Yes and no. A lot of people find them. A lot of people, by the time they found them, it's already pretty deep. If you see them, generally there's a lot more than if you don't.
Are they big? Are they like
In their infancy stage, they are almost like
ant?
a bed. No, an
Small.
adult bed bug is maybe the size of a poppy seed.
Okay, very small.
They're very small. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're very very small.
So you
Yeah.
could see them, but they could so are you saying they could bite some people and not bite some other people?
No, they'll bite anybody. It's just some
Everybody.
people may develop a rash and some people may
Yeah.
not. So
Yeah.
if they're feeding, some people can only tell by little blood specks on their bed, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
So which one is expensive well, I guess if it was ignored for a long time, it could have gone everywhere. I was just saying to get rid of the bed or like what does it cost for you to
Well,
come?
generally, you wouldn't necessarily have to get rid of your bed. Simple, even we tell people who even don't use our services, go get a bed bug cover from Amazon. At least you're locking whatever's inside. Inside, it'll starve to death and die. Anything on the outside, then at least you start to apply your chemicals and your pest control treatments for it.
Mhm.
But cost-wise, it all varies on size of home, how much product we need. I've been to places where their walls aren't standard drywall. It's all like board and batten. So now you have a myriad of porous places. Now I have to treat walls up and down as well
Wow.
as the floor. You know what I mean? So everything gauges your average cost, for your general single family dwelling, if I'm doing the entire house top to bottom, can range anywhere from $1,000 and up, depending on how many rooms, how bad the problem is, how many visits we need to go, and did you prepare well enough for me to get there?
Excellent. But in
Yeah,
terms of inspecting the problem, that $150
same
apply?
deal. Yeah,
Yeah.
same
Okay,
deal.
very good, very good.
Mm.
Well, I don't know if you want to add anything else that I didn't ask you, but I really feel you're so experienced,
I appreciate
and you're in charge of your company. What's your availability like? Like, is there a big long wait list now, or you could be readily available?
Generally, right now is our main calls right now are rodents, mice. Mice are the biggest problem
Yeah,
right now.
yeah,
Cold weather
yeah.
drives them in. So this generally is considered the slower season, but usually we get anywhere within 48 hours.
Oh, is that right? That's good. That's
Yes.
good enough. Yeah. And the
Yeah.
mice situation, you just brought that up. And for most people, it's just like downstairs in the cold room. Like do you have to treat the whole house? Or if the problem was in a certain area, you just do that?
So no. So the way mice operate, we offer two options with
Yeah.
it. Some people only offer one. You can go the general pest control route, which is adding edible baits in areas they frequent. Most people don't
Yeah.
realize your mouse problems actually start in your attic. So mice are actually able to run up the brick of a home, get under the soffit, and then they'll burrow into the insulation. Now, because your electrical, your plumbing, your heating goes north-south, once they get in the attic, they'll follow all that to the basement. And that's why people start to see them in the basement and in the kitchen.
Oh,
So you want to be able to treat ground zero first, which is the
right.
attic. And then from there, you'll put in feeding stations. And then we offer the ability, like I said, we're very knowledgeable of how houses operate and the work. So we also do an inspection and provide our clients with a quote to seal the whole house. So the
Mhm.
problem isn't a repeatable thing. So you're not putting bait in your home for the next 10
Right.
years, you know? Yeah,
Wow, that is a wealth of knowledge. And thank you so much. Really appreciate it. I'm
no
going to put
problem.
up your contact information to my clients. And like as I say, we're active on social media. And like as I say, I would love for experienced, knowledgeable person to service my people. So thank you so much for coming out.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, Justin, and have a great one. Take care.
Happy New Year.
You too. Happy New Year too. Bye bye.